So you all know me. I'm Juan Bloisi with Washington Interpreters, and so we have been pushed back against the wall. And because of that, this is an emergency. We have colleagues leaving the profession, and we're going to be talking about SOSi's insulting lack of payment. So what you see, this is what I got paid. I want you to see this. I started taking appointments with SOSi on June 14th, even before they were scheduled to start. And this is what I got. They owe me thousands of dollars. And this is the payment that I got, $99. This is an insult. This is a joke. We're not supposed to do anything with this. We get paid $61.80 an hour, okay, when we complete an hour of work. And this is barely an hour and a half. Okay, so this is unacceptable. These are messages that I got from interpreters. And this interpreter says, I got paid $56.65. And this interpreter says, another interpreter received $0. And then another interpreter reported that they paid him $380. Seriously. After 6 weeks working for this company, do you think we deserve this kind of treatment? Do you think this is what we deserve? No. We were promised smooth transition. Look at this. This is from a very popular WhatsApp group. And this interpreter is showing what appears to be a screenshot from their bank account. Very clearly, a credit on their account from SOSi on July 24th. And what do you see right there? $46.35. Again, this is ridiculous. This other interpreter says, I got $240 like an hour ago. What kind of company is this? Now, I've taken a different approach after the elections, and especially with the new company. I have been positive. I wanted to be patient. I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though we received information since before they started that they have been sued in other states for not paying interpreters. This SOSi company has been known for that, and I have been patient, but we cannot ignore reality anymore. I still hope that they get their act together, but this is unacceptable, okay? This other interpreter says right here, I got $200. Seriously, after 6 weeks working for this company, you're paying $200 to interpreters. This interpreter right here, check this out. This interpreter says, mine was $58. You have got to be kidding me. A provider sent me a text message earlier today saying, hey, Juan, how are you? Just wanted to know if you're hearing anything about the interpreters getting paid. The ones coming to our office are possibly going to work one more week, and then they're quitting if they don't have a paycheck. And then these providers sent an email to lnifinance@sosi.com to see if they get any updates. Seriously, you have interpreters quitting the profession. And this is not just an issue that's been happening right now. This is happening since years ago when the infamous law from 2018 that changed the whole dynamic of how we get our appointments distributed. Right? Whether you agree with the change or not, the reality is that we now depend exclusively on a scheduling system, which is not a bad thing. But I have said before and many others, we need more options. That's why I was asking for a dual system, because now we only depend on a scheduling system. And when that scheduling system fails in any way, because they're providing the appointments, but they're not paying, what do you have? You have interpreters leaving the profession. And that's not good for anyone. That may be good for LNI because patients are not going to be opening up claims, right? But that's not good for anyone, especially our community of Hispanic patients, injured workers, and any other language that they need interpretation services. But this is the reality of what we're going through. And because of that, I have created a petition with Washington interpreters. Now, this petition, the links are going to be shared throughout our social media, throughout our emails and WhatsApp groups, whatnot. And, you would say, Juan, but why don't you go to the union? You should know the answer to that. Unfortunately, they only go through meeting after meeting with L&I representatives and SOSi, and they have no answers. No answers whatsoever. And they're just begging L&I to do something because they don't have the character to do what's necessary as a union. The so-called powerful union, it's only begging L&I to please help us. And so since the union that's certified to represent interpreters, it's only begging, then what do we need them for? We could do our own begging, right? But this is not begging. This is a petition with a reasonable argument, okay, to L&I representatives. Pay us on time, restore timely payments for language access providers in Washington State. So this petition is going to Governor Jay Inslee and the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. And it says, restore timely payments for language access providers in Washington State. So this petition goes to Governor Jay Inslee and the Washington State Department of Labor and Industries. So what is this petition about? It says right here, as language access providers, we are independent contractors who provide interpretation services for injured workers who are limited English proficient, or LEP, which includes a large portion of Washington State's Hispanic population, as you know. Still, we haven't been compensated for our services since June 17th earlier this year, when the Department of Labor and Industries, L&I, arbitrarily decided not to renew Interpreting Works' contract, which was the company responsible for paying and distributing work appointments for interpreters. That's exactly right. L&I took this decision on their own. And I'm going to show you documentation, not now, but later, of how they didn't even win the contract by points. Okay, they didn't score high enough to win the contract. SOSi didn't. But instead, they gave them the contract. And they pushed out a company that in the beginning I had a lot of problems with. You know this. But they fixed things. And although they were not a perfect company, we didn't have these issues. And now we have this company not paying interpreters for almost 2 months. This is just unacceptable. Okay, the petition continues to say, L&I promised a smooth transition to the new company, SOSi, months before June 17th, yet we have been working for free since then. Because of this situation, we can't pay our bills, rent, and mortgages. As a result, many long-time language access providers have fallen into debt and have decided to look for another job, adding to the shortage of interpreters in our state. This will leave hundreds of limited English proficient injured workers without critical interpretation services for their medical, rehab, and psychological appointments. Language access providers are essential for our community. Injured workers and patients depend on high-quality interpretation services to understand and communicate with healthcare professionals and make the right decisions about their medical care based on correct diagnosis and treatment. All these concerns have fallen on deaf ears, and it's time that the Department of Labor and Industries fixes this situation, okay, affecting thousands of families and minorities in our state. We demand that L&I terminate SOSi's contract and bring back Interpreting Works, renewing their contract effective immediately to ensure timely payments to language access providers and preserve critical interpretation services for our injured workers in need. Okay, that's my signature from Washington Interpreters. So Why is this important? Please help us by signing this petition on behalf of language access providers so that we can continue providing caring professional interpretation services to those who need it the most. So that's the petition, okay? And that you could see the link right here. And these are the representatives and senators from the House Labor and Workplace Standards Committee. Okay, I was just talking about that. Please, those are the phone numbers. And so these are good people to contact and get their email from. Now, this is what you see right here is the Senate committee members by committee. And if you go to the bottom right here, you could see the Labor and Commerce has 9 members, okay? And I see, you could see the web browser, the link right there to go and get this information, okay? I want you to go there, get the email. You send them an email explaining why we haven't gotten paid and how LNI needs to fix this situation. Demand they bring back interpreting works. It is absolutely a joke how they chose another company when they didn't have to. And now we're not getting paid. This is ridiculous. And now this is a very good tool right here. app.leg.wa.gov/district finder. Okay, you type that and go to that web address. And what you see right here is you enter your full address, okay? And then you find your district. And you find the representatives, the senators from your district, their information, so you let them know what's going on. And also, I would suggest that you could please call these legislatures. You also have a way to send Governor Jay Inslee an email message, an e-message, and send them an email. As an individual, as a language access provider, and let them know, look, we need help. We need to be serving the LEP community, okay? Limited English proficient injured workers and patients need our help as language access providers or interpreters to provide critical service, critical care, critical interpretation services, but we're not getting any answers. We're not getting paid. This is unacceptable. We need to put everyone on notice. We need to let the community know LNI is forgetting about these injured workers and forgetting about the interpreters, okay? They say they care about injured workers. Well, this is not caring, right? And then talking about LNI, these are the LNI officials that I would suggest, you don't have to do it, but I would suggest you send them an email, okay? You have Joel Sachs, LNI's director. You have his 2 email addresses. Okay, public affairs at lni.wa.gov, and then joel.sachs at lni.wa.gov. And then you have Karen Jost. Okay, she was instrumental. This is the person who decided years ago we're going to outsource interpreting services to outside companies. So send her a nice email. Don't be mean to these people. We gain nothing by being aggressive, violent, or anything like that. No, just say it's about time you do right by injured workers and language access providers in our community. Okay, and then you have Christy Miller, head of interpretation services at LNI, Tracy Winder, in charge of labor issues, and Tammy Fallon, legislative director at LNI, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, those are the people that I would suggest. Take screenshots of these images. I'm going to be sharing them anyways, but please do so. Share these images with interpreters, and let's do this. Let's promote this petition, and I'm not guaranteeing this is going to work. Okay, LNI is not obligated to respond to any petition or to grant us any petition, but I do want to remind you that Washington Interpreters was able to successfully get LNI to let us contract through the pandemic, okay, and getting paid in-person rates when doing video and phone interpretation. So please support this petition, share it with anyone in the community. Let's sign this. Let's get it really quick to a few hundred signatures. And we're going to be pressing the issue because, I don't hate the union, but I hate what they do. Whether you like me or Washington interpreters are not wearing this together, and these union charlatans are not doing anything to help you. They only want union dues.